In the case of Lily and Jack Sullivan, the missing siblings from Nova Scotia, all roads seem to be pointing toward the so-called stepdad, Daniel Martel. I say this because the children's mother, Malia Brooke Murray, took off and cut off communications with him early on. She blocked him on her social media. Why doesn't she want to talk to him? Does she blame him? Is she distancing herself because she knows he did something wrong? We don't yet know, but it is very odd that she cut off communication. Her family apparently also believes Daniel Martel is behind the kid's disappearance. They were blaming him, and that's when his mother told everybody to get off the property. And now we've heard from the children's great aunt on their biological father's side of the family, and she has come out to say that she thinks the kids are not near the property, and she's saying it's because the dogs couldn't pick up a scent. She said she feels that it's likely that Lily and Jack were taken far away in either a vehicle or on a quad, and she's emphatic that the kids did not go into the woods. She also said there are dogs on the property. If somebody had come up to the property to nab the children, the dogs would have made a lot of noise. This same great aunt went on to say, tragically, that she thinks the kids are probably in Halifax Harbor. She was asked why the kids' biological father, Cody Lee Sullivan, isn't doing anything to find Lily and Jack. The great aunt said it was because he doesn't want to be around those people. To me, that's a weak excuse. He should care enough about his own children, his own flesh and blood, to advocate for them. We also know that the Royal Canadian Mounted Police asked at least 3 of the neighbors for camera footage and vehicle information going as far back as April 27th, which would have been 2 days before the kids were supposedly last seen at school. And one officer reportedly said to the neighbor, Melissa Scott, quote, "We should have been here sooner," end quote. Why did the officer say that? Did they learn something about something that happened to Lily and Jack before they were reported missing? Did trail cameras pick up some unusual activity before 911 was dialed? Did they see vehicles coming or leaving before that 911 call was made? And what if Lily and Jack were not kept home from school because of a cough, but something worse? Perhaps bruises, perhaps some accident that led to their deaths. If the kids wandered off, they would likely have been found by now. I don't think anyone believes that storyline anymore. In fact, the police have said they aren't going to do any more searching in the woods for now. So to me, those kids were either nabbed, which a lot of people say is highly unlikely because of the location. The great aunt said she doesn't believe that. Or something bad happened to them and they had to be taken away because they were basically evidence that if it's down to negligence, that person doesn't want to go to jail or prison. People are saying that Daniel Martel's shoes looked really clean. So if he was running around and searching in the woods, how come his shoes were clean? Was interviewed for hours. It makes sense that law enforcement would want to check out the biodad to see if maybe he came and took his kids. But it doesn't sound like he's seen his kids in more than a year, and it doesn't sound like he's very involved. So it doesn't seem likely that he would want to come and nab them. And this bio dad isn't exactly an upstanding citizen. He is currently charged with an incident where he attempted to buy some pricey merchandise from an online merchant who agreed to meet him somewhere. And when Cody Lee Sullivan turned up, he also had a sharp-edged object in his hand. He demanded the merchandise, and he took off in a pickup truck, and the seller was able to share, I think, the make, the model, the color of the pickup truck, and the police quickly found Cody Lee Sullivan, and inside his pickup truck, there was the merchandise from the seller. So he was arrested and charged, and he has a hearing coming up in October of 2025. He was born in 1996, just for the record, which makes him 29 years old, and it looks like he has just the two kids, Lily and Jack. He doesn't seem like somebody who was involved in his children's lives, who was there to protect them in case things were going on at this property that were not so good for Lily and Jack. The bio dad was nowhere to be found from what we've heard. So once again, it seems like we have two little kids in the custody of people who maybe really aren't fit to be decent parents. I mean, we don't know the whole story, so I don't want to say that they definitely did something wrong. This property seems very chaotic, very messy, and things just aren't seeming right. I think the bio dad's absence in Lily and Jack's lives, and the fact that he's not searching, he's not out demanding answers from Daniel and Malia, that absence speaks volumes. I was trying to get information on SOs in the area, but in Canada, they keep that information private, so they don't release everybody's name. They only do it when they release a high-risk offender into the community. And it turns out that they did release such a person. His name is George Durling. He's 57 years old, and he's currently residing in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, which is a 1 hour and 36-minute car ride to Pictou County, where Lily and Jack lived. This guy is not supposed to be around kids under the age of 16. It sounds like he was dealing in child P. He is not supposed to consume alcohol, and he's also not supposed to go on the internet. Sadly, we know that these types of offenders tend to repeat, and they aren't people who necessarily can be changed, can be fixed in any way to stop them from offending. Sadly, these people are all around us in all of our neighborhoods, really. For the most part, if you do a search, you'll probably find some either living in your neighborhood or nearby. But honestly, I don't think that that is what happened to these two kids. I think the answers lie on this property. I think something happened there, and I think they were ferried away. And I would think that it was probably an accident. I don't think that it was intentional, but it may have happened with tempers flaring. It may have happened if there were any kind of substances around. Who the heck knows? All I can say is that I hope still for a miracle for Lily and Jack.